plugged in.
There should be no more fires in town now.
Just working. Had a good meeting with Meatbun yesterday about Black Friday stuff. I'm really happy with what they did. All the test prints they did came out great. Super detailed. Actually shocked at the level of detail they were able to achieve on a shirt. Oh, yeah. Take it easy, man. COVID can be a real bitch. up, Sharky? I swapped out my skinny snakes for chubby snakes, and I've never been happier. Highly recommend a chubby snake over a skinny snake, as you can see up here. Chubbies is the way to go. Oh. Yeah, the Napoleon movie falls into the trope of all of Europe is English accent.
What's the meaning of this, idiot? A message. Your father, that is why you are shooting.
Yeah. Pretty wild. I didn't watch the Napoleon movie, but I might. I'm sure it's a beautiful movie, despite the plot being completely inaccurate. I'm sure it's beautiful. Ridley knows how to art direct. Sounds like a Ridley Scott movie. Beautiful art, confusing words. You just described Prometheus. not streaming for super long today. I gotta go to a funeral, unfortunately. But I'm streaming for a bit, and I gotta go get ready. Hey, it's all good. Thank you, man. It was a long fight with cancer, but she's at peace now. It's sad, but at least she's not suffering. Do, 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 do. Nice. I will know it's time to leave when the outside sun hits my screen and blinds me. Doo-doo. All right. Please hold. Hello? I'm picking up the food at 7, so I figured I'd switch with you around 6, maybe? Oh, yeah, yeah, that's easy. I can just take out what's in there and throw it in the back of my car. Alright? If you want to. I'm probably gonna leave here around 2. And then run around and do some errands, and then I'll head to the funeral around 6. Okay? Yeah, let me know. Bye. Oh. Yeah, whenever the sun hits my screen is when I shall leave. Whenever the sun floweth upon my screen and curse me with its blinding light, it is when I shall leave and goeth into the world. Doon, 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 doon. He got served live? Oh boy, with the court summons? That's fucking great. That's the danger of being a public figure, is anybody can find you in public. It's easy not to get served when you're an anonymous person. I wonder who the case was from. Must be so funny to give a presentation and then get to Q&A and have somebody come up and say, "So you're Sam Altman?" "Yeah. You've been served." That's fucking great. I'm 99% sure Sam Altman is the guy behind, what, OpenAI? He's an AI guy, right? I'm trying to remember what specific thing he's in charge of. Altman should debate Carlo. That would be dope. I'd pay for that. I tuned out of the AI stuff quite a bit because I realized it was making me irrationally, like, not irrationally, but it was making me very angry, and there's nothing I can do to control any of it. So it's like, until it goes to court, or like, you know, something like that, there's really nothing anyone can do. So I was just getting mad for no reason. Because, like, my anger can't affect anything. All I can do is donate money to causes that fight it and hope that the courts do the right thing. So, like, that's what I'm trying to limit myself to. I'm not searching out articles about it anymore. I'm not introducing any AI news into my news feed by choice. I'm just kind of trying to create some healthy distance from it to let it all play out. Because all getting angry does is make me miserable and ruin my day, and it doesn't change anything. So, when Carla does stuff with donations, I try to support those. When I see other stuff like that, I try to support those, but I don't read a ton of news on it anymore, so I'm not super clued into what's happening. Ah. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a bubble. I don't know how big the burst will be. But it's definitely a bubble. It's already bursting a little, that's why there was a huge stock market crash this week. I lost like, I don't even know. Probably lost like $10,000 this week in the stock market just because of the AI bubble. I'm sure I'll get it back. I have a very diversified portfolio, but it's pretty significant drop. 5 days of losses, all because of AI and jobs numbers, and the jobs numbers are because of AI. So it's all kind of tied in together. It's all good, buddy. It's a few less antiques. I'll survive. I'm not invested in any AI stuff, just to be clear. That's not why I lost money. I lost money because when there's like bad jobs numbers and when there's like a huge investment in general towards something like AI, and then bad news comes out about it, like the job numbers being down because of AI, the whole stock market starts to sell off and drop as a result because people are trying to recover their losses. So like, even though I've got no money invested in it, it still affected me. Just want to make that very clear. I can see how someone listening who doesn't understand stock stuff could assume that that means that I was invested in AI, and I'm definitely not. Yeah. It does affect everything. The jobs numbers are just so bad. The economy is in such bad shape right now. I went to get a pound of steak tips at the store yesterday for meal prep this week, and it was $28 for a pound of steak tips. Used to be about 19. Still high, but holy shit. Yeah, things are crazy expensive right now. Even if you're ethical with investing, a lot of stocks are affected by a lot of other stocks. So even if you're not invested in something bad, when it crashes, it can have a market-wide effect. So it's just how it goes. Unfortunately, the whole market is like super over-leveraged in favor of AI right now. Yeah, dude. Alex Oikel, I saw in the news here that Congress ruled that the Canada tariffs are illegal. So I'm hoping costs will come down for you at least relatively soon. I don't know.
Since you're clearly incapable of managing my nickname, let's make this full.
Yeah, we.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. But yeah, things are pretty rough. I'm actually curious. I might have asked this on stream before. Did Brexit affect Canada? Is Canada still a territory? Or did Canada separate from England? Okay. Just gotta hold your breath for the next 3 years and then hope things get back to normal. What was Brexit? England voted to leave the European Union, and it affected a whole bunch of trade and immigration stuff across the board because there were lots of other areas that were sort of tied in with England, like Ireland and Scotland and all these other places that have all these deals in place with England that are also part of the European Union, that it fucked up all those deals and made all that shit crazy. It re-triggered some stuff that was in the Good Friday Agreement. It made it so shipping stuff to England was much more expensive. It made it so people couldn't immigrate there and travel there easy. It was just a massive upheaval of the last 20, 30 years in terms of how things were done there. There were no free flow of goods and services anymore. And it had a downstream effect where anybody who was invested into the Bank of England or tied into England with trade had massive, massive price hikes. It shut down a company that I used to work for almost overnight. I did a lot of freelance for it. Completely fucked their whole business model pretty significantly. But yeah, that's what that was.
Oh, it's just...
Does it bother you that your father approved of that man's plan?
yes.
Wow.
Not to sound like Lord De Rosa, but don't you think you are underestimating him? When we obtained the report he had written earlier, I took down the details in my journal. The Red Mage has stopped at nothing to claw his way up the ranks of the Eternian forces. You should read them again sometime.
I will.
Wow. Yeah. England should be like Disneyland. They should reclaim all the land that the royalty's sitting on and like just make England a place you go to like visit the Tower of London and eat like eat like fish and chips. Just make it a giant theme park. Make it a giant tourist attraction. I've enjoyed my time in England when I go there, but there's some not great stuff tied in with their governing. I'll put it that way. Pretty crazy, though, to see for the first time since World War I, a member of the royal family stripped of all their titles. England's having a weird decade, man. There's some crazy stuff going on over there. Like pretty historic shit. Like regularly, like Brexit, a king returning to power after the queen died, a prince being de-princed. Like, pretty nuts. Well, the libel laws in England are much different than they are in the United States. You can be arrested for speech over there depending on the speech. The bar for hate speech, death threats, and libel are significantly lower than they are in the United States. So if you say something that's untrue, you can get hit with defamation suits. If you post something threatening, you can get hit with death threat stuff. You can be arrested for hate speech. Like, it's very it's not a First Amendment thing like we have here. I actually kind of wish that America would adopt the libel standards a lot, because I think the English libel standards are fucking great. I wish we had those here, because that means, like, I typically, if I'm gonna listen to news, I don't listen to news very often, but if I'm going to listen to news, I typically listen to BBC or LBC, because the libel standards over there are so strict that the newscasters can't lie about people. Like, in America, newscasters can go on and just, like, freelance about whatever they can say people are in, like, pedophile, pizza, sex cults, and all this crazy shit. And nothing's gonna happen because it's their freedom of speech. But in England, it's completely different. You say that shit over there and you can be sued. You can be sued and you will lose. So I like getting my news from those sources because they have to be a lot more responsible with how they report things, or they'll get, like, hit. But yeah. It's very, very different than the US. You can be taken to task for all kinds of speech related stuff there. Which, has pros and cons, but yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's definitely abused. I'm not saying it's a perfect system. I just wish we had the libel standards here. I think the libel standards are, like, pretty awesome in England. I think we're living in a weird proof of concept that if you lie enough, often enough, it can warp reality for people. And I think that's very obviously happening here. And it's happening to some degree in England, but not as much. In England, it's typically happening with how people perceive foreigners and European intervention with things. That's getting very warped and strange, but you can't, like, they don't believe things about politicians there that we believe about politicians here, because you can't have these insane fever dreams broadcasted on the news about cults and drinking blood of children and all this insane shit. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Well, it's all about getting attention, because if people are watching you, then when it cuts to the ad break, you'll sell more stuff. And if you sell more stuff, the ad companies will, give you more money. So, like, it's a capitalist thing where it's like you want to sell more ads, and the only way to sell more ads is to get more attention, and the only way to get more attention is to be more sensational and entertaining. And the boring, truth that a lot of people don't want to admit is that the truth is pretty bland most of the time. Even if you're really mad about a topic, when you really look at it as the truth of what's going on, it's usually pretty fucking boring. It's usually a pretty simple thing that people spice up and blow out of control to make a really exciting story. So, like, if you need people to watch you to make your money, you're going to spice things up because you want to make that money. It's just that. It's just that news as entertainment was a huge mistake. But I don't know if that's fixable without blowing up the First Amendment. Or adding some kind of weird standard where people can't call themselves news without some kind of fact checking. But then you get into the whole who's the fact checker, and then if it's the government, people are going to come after you with Ministry of Truth 1984 style allegations. And it's just a huge cluster. It's a huge, huge cluster of problems that I don't really know how to fix or if they are fixable. But you can send it to me on Discord, and I will look at it hopefully before the end of the weekend. I can't look at it today because, as you can see, the sun is about to hit me, which means the stream is over, and I have to go get ready to go to a funeral tonight. But if I'm around in the next couple days, I will take a look at it on Discord. I just can't do it today. I got too much I got to do before the funeral. But I think it is time for me to end the stream. The cruel light of day has come to take me away from you, my precious children. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Oh! Alright. I'm so glad we switched to these chubby snakes. Look at the difference. So much better with big chubby snakes. So much better. Alright. I gotta go. Love you all. Oh, I'll be back for another short stream at some point today. I'm not sure when. Might be before or after the funeral. Oh, God. All of you take care. Love you. Oh! Let's take a look at where I'm at with, we got a little 1 hour stream out of it. All right, I'll see you all soon.